Well, hello guys, and welcome back to Sponge's Tech Tips. I'm Sponge. Thanks for tuning in today, tonight, whatever time it is where you're at. Where I'm at, it's almost midnight, and it's been a long day. This is like my fourth video I've done of the day. A lot of projects going on here today, and I thought I would record as many as I could for you guys. And this time around, it's going to be for your Mazda MX-5 Miata owners. I guess it's considered a Miata. It's MX-5. But before we get started, do me a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trucking along with my subscribers, and I appreciate all of you very, very much. And yeah, that's... hit the like button if this video helps you out when we're done, and then as always, go hit up the comment section because I love hearing from you. So this particular car, let's I guess I should did I say, all right, it's so late, I'm tired. It's freezing outside. I'm actually working inside. Obviously there's light in here, but it's so cold outside, it's cold inside. It's 51 degrees in here, but I'll take it over what's going on outside right now. It is getting the near end of January of 2025, and we're up here in Washington. If you've never watched the videos, I'm in Washington State, in Woodinville, Washington. So, okay, so this is, I'm going to flip the camera around. This is a 2017 Mazda MX-5. Let's check the build date real quick. I always like to do that, just so you guys compare to your make and model. And if you see right there, it's from, let's see, July of 2017. Okay. Now this particular model is the retractable Targa version. This is not the convertible one, so it's a hardtop retractable Targa. Pretty amazing. I've been kind of paying attention to how everything works, and it's pretty cool how this thing goes back. I think I kind of like the styling of the full convertible better, but this thing's pretty sweet. I got to give it some credit. I'm sure there's a name for it, and you guys can jump in the comments and let me know what it's called, but I don't know. To me, it's just a Mazda MX-5. Yep, Mazda MX-5. So. Okay, so what is going on with this car? Well, apparently this is a super common problem. We've got a water leak, and I'll show you inside. I don't know if we can see. I don't know if you can see back there. This is the driver's side. We've got standing water right down here on the floor. Not super bad, but it's bad enough to where we've got some mold kind of growing inside a little bit, and I had to figure out where this water was coming in. So as I dug through it, it's coming on the driver's side, not the passenger side. The passenger side is, for the most part, dry. And I actually figured out that it's not leaking from the seams. Ironically, those are really good. I'm very impressed with all the seams, but it's actually leaking in its designed drainage. So on each side of this back window, there are these little holes. There's one here, and then there's one on the other side, and the rain goes down. It goes through a little tube, and then it falls into a tray. And then in that tray, it then goes into another tube, and then out the bottom of the vehicle. But up here in Washington, we get lots of debris and muck, and it clogs up those tubes. So what it's doing is it's draining successfully from the top of the car into the car, but then not draining through that tray onto the tube. It's just overflowing, and then it's flowing down onto the floor over here. So I'm going to move the roof around just a little bit and show you guys exactly what we're dealing with here. That'll add a little bit more light inside too, so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so I raised this up so we can kind of show you. I've got the this part up here, and then this is that glass. The glass stays stationary. The water comes down and falls into this little channel, and then it goes down through this tube, and then into this That's kind of a plastic reservoir, and then it goes down below that into a tray at the bottom there. And the reason why it does that is because this window, as the Targa top goes in, this will actually fold over, and it needs to move the tube. Somewhat over-engineered, and you can see on the other side, there's that other tube right there too. I'll zoom in, you can see it right there. There's the other tube going into that plastic reservoir. So, okay, so let's move on to the next part here. I'm gonna raise up the Targa, and I'm gonna fold that back into it. Okay, so now you can see that we've got the Targa retracted in. That window has folded over. It's kind of hard to see, but it's in there. And then this will come back over the top. Now, I'm gonna move this seat forward. Now, our goal here is to get into that tray, which is down in here. Now, I've been kind of looking through the positions of this, and if you were really creative, there's a very small chance you could get to it without tearing everything apart. But what I'm gonna do, for two reasons, I'm gonna tear everything apart so you can see exactly what you're going after, and then you can try it without taking everything apart. But I want to be able to clean it more. There's some muck and some debris in there. I want to be able to get to it and clean it all out and just make sure that we don't have a problem in the near future. You might be able to break the dam down and get that water flowing, but if you don't clean all that muck out, you're just bound to have another problem real soon. So I'm going to leave the top in this position just so it's completely out of our way. It makes it a little bit easier to film, but you don't have to leave it in this position to take it down. So to take out this panel, we do need to remove both sides. I'm going to go over just one side because it's going to be the same on the opposite for the most part. So there's going to be a couple little breaks in there where you're going to see some progress, but that way this video doesn't get too terribly long. So first thing we're going to do, we need to take out these cup holders. I don't know if these are an aftermarket or an upgrade, but they're in our way, so let's get those out of the way. Oh, actually, you know what? Well, let's take the other part and then I will go over the tool. So next thing we want to do, you want to take this little shield out. And that's as simple, you just pull that up and that pops right out. So I don't know if every model has that, but ours does. So real quick, let's go over our tools before we get too in depth here. You're going to want well, you don't need this, so let's set that aside. You're definitely going to need a socket wrench, a 14 mil and a 10 mil, and an extension might help, but it's not necessary. I like to use the 6 points, especially if you're dealing with seat belts, because that's what we are going to be taking out with that, is the seat belt. But that way you're not going to strip that bolt out. You have a smaller chance. A lot of times those seat belt bolts are put in with some thread lock, so having a nice grab on them is good. So panel popper, kind of a heavier plastic one. A lot of the other videos I've seen are telling you to use a metal pick. I don't recommend a metal pick because you're working with plastic here, and if you slip, you're going to scratch that plastic and you're not going to know how to make it look nice again. So the last thing you're going to need something to clear the water tube. I'm going to use an air, which I normally don't do on sunroofs, but I think this one is going to be fine. You could also use possibly like a little drain snake or something like that. But I think the air tool is going to work best for what we're after here. So now to start off with, we don't even really need to use any tools. And again, some of the other videos I've seen removing these, they tell you use these metal picks. I recommend just use your fingernails. If you got good nails, which I don't, maybe you want to use something a little bit sharper, but I really wouldn't go with a metal pick. I just use my fingernails. So the first thing we are going to do is we have to take this inner headrest cover off. These both sides got to come off, and those are kind of overlapping everything. So you could use the panel popper to get up underneath it and pop like so, but I think if you just kind of push a little bit, you can get your fingers under there and just pop that off, just like that. So this doesn't have any additional metal clips, it's just plastic overlapping. There's like 8 or 9 clips. And you're gonna wanna set that aside. I'm gonna set everything on the ground to get it out of our way because we are taking quite a bit apart here. Next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna take, right here, there's a small little clip. If you put your fingernail under there and just pop that out. It fell, I'll get that. There's that. Make sure you know, if you drop one of these, keep your eyes on it and make sure you get that back out of there. So let's set the clip aside. I'll grab that other one here in a second. But okay, so once you remove that little clip, we're going to take this top piece off, the one that overlaps the seatbelt. But do not pull this that way. What you want to do is you want to lift it up, okay? And I'll show you why. So just kind of grab underneath down here and just pop that up. Hear a little metal pop. What that is you're unhooking this little clip here from here. So this actually pops in, and if you put enough force, you can pop that straight out. But that clip is super tight, and I don't want you to break this. So it's easier just to push it up and pop it free. The rest of this is just plastic. Just kind of move it around, and it'll pop off. Then pull it free of the seat belt and set that aside. Okay. The next one we are going to do, we've got to take off our lower door sill here. There's no need for tools, just use your hands, kind of reach underneath, rattle it a little bit, and that will pop straight up. Front's getting hung up on something. Oh, there we go. Okay, set that with the like pieces. Okay, next thing we are going to do, we are going to take off this piece. I'm going to back this up actually so you guys can see just a little bit better. There we go. This one has 3 of those little clips. They're a tiny bit bigger, so don't get those mixed up. I'm just going to use my fingernail and get underneath there. There's 1. There's 2. And 3. Okay. Set those aside so you don't lose them. Okay, now this one does have 2 metal clips. They do have a tendency to pop off, so keep your eyes peeled. You're going to want to just pull it away from the door, or you know, where it runs up the door edge here. Let's see if I can get it to come off without popping it free. Now, one came off. Well, that's all right. So the metal clips I'm talking about, there's one here, there's supposed to be one there, but you can see it actually stayed. You're gonna have to use a pair of pliers to get that off and then reattach it. And be careful, that thing's sharp. So those are the only 2 clips holding that one on. Let's set that aside. I'll go after that clip here in a second. And then the next, I'll just take this clip off so you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it on both sides. If you go in a bit, there's a single clip here. Now, I wouldn't try to use a panel popper to get in there. You're just gonna scratch stuff up. Just put your hand underneath. I like to hold the clip and then just pop it off nice. That way it doesn't go flying on you. There we go. That's a little bit different clip there, but okay, set that aside. And now you're gonna wanna do the other side identical to that, which I'm just going to snap my fingers and it will be done. All right, just like that, movie magic, it is removed on the other side too. Now remember, up on that top part, on the other side, you have to lift it up, just like you did on this side. Don't pull it inward, lift it up and pop it off and just leave the clip in. Okay, next thing we're going to do. Now, you could remove the entire thing, but it's not necessary. But we need to lift the center console cover up, okay? We've got to move that up because this overlaps. Now, it's going to still be in our way just a little bit, but it saves you a ton of work from having to remove all that stuff up there. And what you just want to do, you just want to reach your hand underneath and pop it up. Just like so, okay? Just give yourself a little bit of room, and then that'll give you enough room to pry that out from underneath. So I am going to show you how to pop this free, but I'm going to have to use two hands to lift that up and pull it off. But to get this panel off, this is what we're after next. You just want to reach up into this area. Be careful because there is some sharp metal, but just start wiggling it around with your hand, and it will start popping free. Let's go to the other side. Remember to listen for clips too, guys, because I don't know if you heard that, one of my clips fell. So, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to lift this up, and I have to make enough room to pull this way because there's a pocket here and a pocket here that have to come forward and underneath that bracket. I'll show you that here in just a second after I get it lifted up. Okay, so now I have it lifted up. I've pulled that in, so these two pockets, you can see there's one pocket there and one pocket there, they're in. And then once you get those pockets clear, you're just gonna lift this straight up. In my particular situation, there's no electronics. I can't imagine yours might be. Maybe if somebody added something aftermarket, you might find something there. So I did find my clip that popped off. It's right here. I set that aside. I'll figure out where that goes when I put it back together. So, okay, next thing we are going to do, well, we're almost there, crazy enough. Our drain is right back here. This is the top of it. And we need to remove this seat belt. Now, I already broke it free. This is where you're going to use your 14 mil socket. And you're going to use your 10 behind it. I already broke mine free, so I'm just going to remove these for the sake of speed. This one comes out as just a bolt. Set that aside so you don't lose it. You also need to take off the top, this kind of pivoting point. I already loosened mine, so now this one will stay all connected, or it should. Okay, yeah, everything stays connected there. And then we need to use our 10 mil to use that 10 mil to remove this top bolt. Now, if you see this little yellow plug here, if you don't know, that is your tied into your airbag safety restraint system. Do not remove that switch. I'm sorry, that plug. Just leave it connected. We're going to move some stuff around here and get it out of our way. But if you remove that, you're going to turn on your airbag light, and then you're going to have to reset it. If you do want to remove the seatbelt completely, obviously I just showed you how to get all the way to the seatbelt. Make sure to disconnect your battery before you unplug that. And then do not plug your battery back in until after that plug is back in. So, okay, so our seatbelt is now disconnected, and we can slide that out. Again, leave it connected. Just let it dangle there. If you are going to put any force on it, you might want to hang that up with a wire or something like that. So, all right, and this right here is where our problem is. Now, I've been working on this so long, it's mostly dried out now, but what I'll do is I'll show you. I'm going to kind of recreate what happens. This is where that tube is coming in, right there. And then it fills this tray, and then it's supposed to go down this little grate and out the bottom of the vehicle. But in our case, it's all plugged up. It's filling this whole thing up, and then it's overflowing and going down on the floor. Now, as you can see, I've now added water to it, and it is just standing water like a nasty pond. You can see all that muck and gunk in there. We're going to utilize the water to press it through. I do recommend, I like to use hot water, and it kind of helps clear everything out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a shot here. This might get a little messy. We're going to use our air tool, and we are going to get down inside there and just see if we can blow that debris through. There it goes. You saw that water flow right out of there. Yep, it was that quick. We just had to break that free. So I am going to clean all the rest of this out and use some glass cleaner or some sort of degreaser. Look at it, it's just mud. It's just nasty. But that's it. That was what was causing the problem there is that little tray. So I imagine you can have access to the other side the same by taking that seatbelt out. Ours is not a problem. I might check it just in case. You know, I have taken the whole thing apart, so I might as well check it and clean it. And I imagine if there's that much debris in this one, there's probably that much debris in the other one too. It just hasn't clogged yet. So, all right, guys. So that is it. Reassembly is obviously the exact opposite of what we just did there. Yeah, make sure you get all your clips back and take your time. Don't rush. You don't want to force things. And I hope that solved your problems. Now, like I said, now that you see what we went after, theoretically, you could fish a tool all the way down there without taking it all apart. But I just, honestly, it was just easier to just do it this way. I don't mind taking stuff apart. So, all right, guys, that's it for this one. Again, hit that subscribe button. If this video helped you out, hit the like button, hit that thumbs up button, and then do me a favor, come say hi in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. So, I think that's going to be it for videos for tonight. Not that it matters to you, but I'm going to wrap this one up and call it a night, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. So, all right, guys, thank you. We'll see you on the next one.